Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas are just a few of the best wideouts in the NFL. I am NYG Prince, and here's my list for the top 10 wide receivers heading into 2020. Comment down below what you would change, like the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this. And coming in at number 10, I have Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys. Last year, Amari racked up 79 receptions, 1,189 yards with 8 touchdowns. The 4-time Pro Bowler is coming off a career year in yards and touchdowns and was a major part of the offensive success from the Dallas Cowboys from last season. He accumulated an 84.1 overall PFF grade and was inked a 5-year, $100 million extension from the Dallas Cowboys. And he has shown that he can just take over the game completely. Last year, against Green Bay, he racked up 11 receptions for 226 yards. With Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, Cooper is now a part of one of the best wide receiver trios in the league. Coming at number 9, I got Chris Godwin. Last year, he had 86 receptions, 1,333 yards with 9 touchdowns. A big year to say the least for Godwin, man. Being the second receiver next to Mike Evans, Tampa has one of the deadliest wide receiver duos in the league. Godwin has elite route running and ball skills, which makes him dangerous on the outside. He accumulated a 90.7 overall PFF grade, which was the highest out of all eligible receivers for 2019, beating out Julio Jones and Michael Thomas very closely. With Tom Brady being his quarterback now is kind of a major upgrade from Jameis Winston, so you could probably see Godwin maybe even take another level in 2020. And coming in at number 8, I got Davante Adams out of Green Bay. Last year, he accumulated 83 receptions, 997 yards, and 5 touchdowns in only 12 games. He missed 4 other games with turf toe, suffered in the game against Philadelphia. Routes is the way you describe Davante Adams. In my opinion, he is the best route runner in the whole league. And before these games that he missed, he had a 3-season streak of double-digit receiving touchdowns. And in those 3 straight seasons, he also had 3 Pro Bowl selections. And with Aaron Rodgers as his QB, you can see another double-digit touchdown and 1,000-yard season from Adams in 2020. I'm going to let this video roll of how good he is at his route running and release.
It's a feel, man.
Xavier Rhodes up there pressing. Adams creating separation.
I never go up and say, I'm about to do this to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said, a starting point.
Little short move to the inside, super sudden, and he's back outside with separation.
All right, I know. I can already hear it. I know this is controversial. I got Stefon Diggs at number 7. I know. Y'all like, what? I know. Hear me out though. He was sharing the load with Adam Thielen over the past few years. If you put him at number 1, which I know he was, I know Adam Thielen was the number 1 receiver in Minnesota, but if you put Stefon Diggs at number 1, his stats will look even better than they do right now. He was sharing the load with Thielen for the past couple of years. And even the 2 seasons when he was really sharing the load with Thielen after he really hit that 1,000-yard mark, he still had over 1K. And his targets went down from 2018 from 149 to 94. And he still accumulated a career high in yards. And with him being shipped to Buffalo, it's all him, baby. It's the Stefon Diggs show over there in Buffalo. That rhymed. He had 16 25-yard receptions. That's tied with Godwin for like number 1 or number 2. Stefon Diggs at number 7, maybe the most controversial list. Maybe the most controversial spot on the list. Coming in at number 7, we got Mike Evans. Consistency is a good word to describe Evans as a whole. Never having a season where he had under 1,000 yards, and in his career, he has not had the best quarterback storm in the rock. You know, Jameis Winston, Mike Glennon, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, kind of like DeAndre Hopkins. Never had a quarterback that was going to scare opposing defenses or a quarterback you had to plan for, you know, but he still found a way to have a Pro Bowl now in 2019, hauling in 67 receptions, 1,157 yards, and 8 touchdowns. and he racked that up in 13 games. And Mike Evans is a game wrecker, bro. He's a game wrecker. Last season against the Giants, he absolutely cooked Janoris Jenkins. Absolutely cooked him. You know, and that can say about the NFC South, man. Shout out to NFC South, bro. Their wide receiving in the South, in the NFC South, man, as a whole, with DJ Moore, Julio Jones, Evans, and Michael Thomas, just to name a few of the guys. Absolutely perfect. Best wide receiving division in the league. And Mike Evans is a big part of that too. So that's how he came up at my number 6 spot. We got Mike Evans. Now we are into the top 5. Tyreek Hill. Last year, Hill had 58 receptions, 860 yards with 7 touchdowns. Speed, agility, elusiveness are the words you use to describe Tyreek Hill. He didn't tally up the best or the top wide receiver numbers from last season in 12 games, but he did put up good numbers in the Super Bowl, racking up 102 yards and 9 receptions. There's no other game you give it your all than the Super Bowl. He came clutch on 3rd and 15, and since entering the league, on targets for 20 yards or more, he is 2nd in receptions, 1st in yards, and 2nd in touchdowns, including the playoffs. And he balls out in the playoffs. But with Hardman, Kelsey, Watkins, and Patrick Mahomes throwing him that ball, we're going to see a lot more of Tyreek Hill in the postseason and high on receiver list. Let's take a break. Let's take a little break, and let's show some of our honorable mentions. Some of the guys who were, you know, rather they was injured, you know, their quarterback wasn't playing a lot of games, or the quarterback didn't play well at all last season, who were good enough to be a top 10 receiver on the list, but just didn't make it. I know OBJ was one. If you're still watching this video, you're probably like, OBJ not on the list. I know, but OBJ last season, he was injured. You know, he had a sports hernia. He played, I think he played all the games, but yeah, he was dealing with a sports hernia. You know, and his quarterback didn't play well at all either. Adam Thielen, he was also a little bit banged up. That's another reason why Stefan Diggs had such a big year last year, because Adam Thielen wasn't even 100%. You know, I don't think. Kenny Golladay, his quarterback Matt Stafford wasn't really on the field as much as if he was. I think Kenny Golladay would have been on this list, because even without Matt Stafford, even though I think David Below was throwing him the ball, Kenny Golladay still had a breakout season, so he's primed to be a top 10 receiver this year for sure. Jarvis Landry, he also had a good year last year. I don't think a lot of people, I think Jarvis Landry is a little bit slept on, you know, in my opinion, based off his season last year. He's a little bit slept on, and I think because OBJ is there, and the bad year Bricky Mayfield had, and just the team as a whole just didn't live up to the hype that they had on last season. But I think Jarvis Landry this year, if he even takes another step, you know, up, you know, from his season last season, being the number 2 receiver, those type of numbers he was putting up with number 1 receivers, type of yards, type of receptions. It was Pro Bowl stats. Jarvis Landry will be a top 10 receiver in my opinion. And at number 4, I have Keenan Allen of the Los Angeles Chargers. Last year he was top 5 in receptions and receiving yards, and is on a pace and streak of 3 straight seasons where he's had 90+ catches and over 1,100 yards. I think he's a little bit underrated. You know, I don't think when you think of the top receivers in the game, I don't think a lot of people say Keenan Allen. I think they jump to Tyreek Hill over Keenan Allen. I like Keenan Allen a little bit better than Tyreek Hill. You know, look who's throwing Patrick Mahomes the ball, and look who's throwing Keenan Allen the ball. Phillip Rivers and Patrick Mahomes, let's not even get that started. But you know, Tyreek Hill is still good. I prioritize a receiver who can give you 100 catches in a season with the yards, you know, and yeah, that's my explanation of why I have Keenan Allen over Tyreek Hill at number 4. And at number 3, I have the new Arizona Cardinal, DeAndre Hopkins. In some people's book, he should still be a Texan, but Bill O'Brien is fucking stupid. Oh my god, what a bad coach. But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins last season actually had a down year. You know, if you look at the stats from 2018 to 2019, he had a down year, but he still put up big time numbers. in a down year, that's how you. DeAndre Hopkins is he's big time. He's big time. And he hasn't always had the best quarterbacks. You know, he was just now having a good quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and now he's having a quarterback in Kyler Murray. And in that air raid system, he's probably going to strive even better than probably as much as he did in Houston. But yeah, at number 3, you could easily put him at number 1 too. You know, in some people's book, they see him as the best receiver in the league, and I wouldn't argue a second. I wouldn't argue it. You know, he's number 3, but there's just a lot of great receivers in this league, and I have DeAndre Hopkins at number 3. Coming at number 2, I have Julio Jones from Atlanta Falcons. This is so hard. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to choose between Michael Thomas or Julio, but I'm going to go with Michael Thomas. I think after a season like that, you can't really put him at number 2. But this is not a knock on Julio Jones. You could go either way, to be honest. You could say, I think people say DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league, and I wouldn't even argue it a bit, to be honest, you know. So you can't go wrong with Julio Jones as number 2, you know, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to Julio Jones or Michael Thomas, it's just based off of preference. It's based off of, you might not even like Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas is, you know what I'm saying, he talks a lot of trash. He's very cocky. He's very, you know, he's filled up on himself. So you can go either way, to be honest, you know what I'm saying. There's no wrong pick if you're going Julio Jones or Michael Thomas, you know. But yeah, I got Julio Jones. Julio Jones is he's just great, man. There's really nothing else you really can say. If you're watching this video, if you made it this far, you know Julio Jones is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting older, but there's not going to be no knock of production off of him. There's not going to be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's one of those receivers who's going to be doing this for a pretty, at least another 3 years at a high level, in my opinion. Julio Jones is, you can go either way, man. You can go with him or Michael Thomas, but I got Julio Jones at number 2. You can put him at number 1 if you want to, but yeah, I got Julio Jones. If you made it this far, man, I really would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and leave a like. You know, I know this is a small channel. We got about, what, 12 subscribers right now. You know, my highest video in views was about, what, 200. You know, but it's all good, man. You know, we gonna strive for greatness. You know, like LeBron said, we're gonna strive for greatness. And even though I'm not expecting to get the most views, the most likes, the most subscribers, I'm not expecting none of that. You know, but if you made it this far, you're a G, man. You're a GOAT in my eyes, and I really appreciate it, bro. So, you know who number 1 is. Let's get into it. It's Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints. 2019 Offensive Player of the Year. He broke the receiving record for most receptions in a season. Had about, what, I think he had 1,700 receiving yards. I don't really know right now. I don't have the numbers in front of me. You know, but yeah, Michael Thomas he's a good receiver, bro. You can't really knock him because he's getting the targets. If you're a part of the offense, you're gonna get some targets. And he doesn't have a number 2 receiver so they can't spread the ball out like as much as they would want to. You know, so you can't knock that off of Michael Thomas. You know, I'm also a Ohio State Buckeyes fan, so a little bit of bias is towards Michael Thomas also. But yeah, Michael Thomas is number 1, man. I feel like he's the best receiver in the league right now, you know. So that's really it. That's the end of the video. And if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you had changed. You know, until then, it's been your boy JayyDimes. I'm out. Peace out.